Explain like I'm 5. Why can babies have water in formula but not actual water before 6 months? Think of a person as being made out of chemicals. A baby is a very small pile of chemicals. Basically, you don't want to dilute the baby too much. Breast milk formula contains relevant chemicals so that a baby stays roughly stable, but pure water will dilute them. More details would include stuff like electrolytes and stomach size and osmosis and so on. I absolutely love don't dilute the baby. If you put water in a baby, all the salt will come out of the baby into the water. This is between a little bad and very bad depending on how much it happens. Formula is as salty as a baby is, so the salt stays put and stays in the baby. Because babies can easily get water intoxication and die. Formula gives them electrolytes and calories. After babies are 6 months old, they can have small amounts of just plain water, because they are also getting nutrition and electrolytes from solid foods. No wonder infant mortality rate was so high for most of human history. Babies die as easily as Dark Souls players. We have to pop them out early, relative to other mammals, or baby's head gets too big and kills the mother in childbirth. Human babies are really underdeveloped at birth. It's even more metal than that. Babies are born when the mom's body is unable to provide any more energy into gestation and fetal growth without dying. Exactly. I saw a cool video debunking the "women's hips can't get wider else walking would be inefficient" thing. The truth is, as you say, there's a maximum rate of calorie transfer via the placenta. When the fetus approaches that point, the baby gets born. Happened to me. Pregnant with twins. One doesn't have heartbeat at 8 weeks and my living son absorbed his twin. My son thinks this is super cool and often will try and convince us his vote in family activities count as 2 votes. He's right, it should. Also, he should get ice cream for dinner tonight. 2 scoops, right? 2 scoops per vote, yes. If he doesn't get his way, does he threaten to absorb you? Not me, but his other siblings, yes. He's a super funny and witty kid. The first time he said this to his sisters, I laughed so hard I cried. He says it's his superpower. The only downside, he says, is that he never gets any privacy. Saw a documentary once that said it turns out it's not the size of the head that causes them to pop out that early, it's that the nutrients, energy etc. they get from the womb, mother plateau at that stage. They require more, so get born to get it. So the first 3 months after birth are actually our 4th trimester more developing of the baby. Something about if it was head size we would be more like great apes, still be able to give birth easier, I think? Or more likely. And that if it was head size, the fact that women still struggle to give birth, die hasn't selected against that or something. Was a very interesting documentary, wish I could find it. The head is too big to fit through pelvis hinged on the idea that a wider pelvis would compromise walking ability, which would be selected against in evolution. They did some studies on women with different sized pelvis and found that wasn't true. A wider pelvis wouldn't affect women's ability or fitness for walking, running, anything. So then if there was no evolutionary pressure to maintain a small pelvis, then there must be something else. So what you're saying is, hips do in fact lie. Lol. Now I'm imagining a baby Dodge rolling around in the womb with a sword, and it's glorious that said, you're actually kinda on track. If mothers ran out of breast milk, a common solution was bread soaked in, you guessed it, water. Most infant mortality came from complications from birth, which also killed many mothers, and infectious diseases. Modern vaccinations and water hygiene have dramatically slowed infectious diseases. Most babies who die today die from genetic disorders and accidents. I knew they could get water intoxication and die. But my brain just focused on the water part, and basically my thought process went like, why did they say no water but I have to put water in formula mixes? This makes much more sense, and I did forget that at 6 months is when babies usually start solids to get nutrients as well. Think about it in percentages instead of Oz. To understand how easy it is to give a baby too much water. For an average-sized adult, 150 pounds 68 kilogram, somewhere between 2 to 5 liters of water in a short period of time causes hyponatremia. Put another way, if you drink more than about 2 to 4% of your weight in water too quickly, you can poison yourself with it. For a newborn who weighs, let's say, 9 lbs, 4 kg, that'd be 0.08 liter of water, or just under 3 Oz. A shot of alcohol is 1.5 ounces, for context. So you have some wiggle room as far as measuring out formula throughout the day, and you don't need to weigh it. Fine to just use the lines on the bottle or a measuring cup set, but don't give them plain water to drink.